Hello, fabulous superstar Taurus. Welcome to your horoscope for the month of July 2018, looking at life and love. I am your astrologer, Nadiya Shah. Thank you for being here. What an amazing month it is. We have an active sky playing out right now, and we do have a sky that in many ways is making great promises. And what are those promises? Of change, of transformation, and also of blessings as well, particularly for you. Now, these blessings are going to play out in all kinds of areas, but chances are they will just find you. There's a very karmic sense to what's playing out this month, but it isn't just limited to this month, but it's going to extend into next month as well. So what is it that is so karmic being indicated in the sky? Well, it's eclipse season. Yep, we're at another eclipse season. But the difference this time is normally we get two eclipses back to back, 2 weeks apart. This time we are going to have 3 eclipses back to back, 4 weeks apart. And what that says to me is that this is going to be a time when we are that much easier to recognize the spiritual lessons playing out in our lives. We're less likely to get caught up necessarily in what is ultimately superficial and what is ultimately part of our earthly experience, but not the intention of the earthly experience. Because that is a big part of what eclipses are about. Eclipses involve the nodes. Now, I think that the nodes of the moon are incredibly important. They're incredibly symbolic in the astrology chart. I've been doing classes on this lately in person and online, but I'll say this. With the nodes, what they indicate is the soul's intention for this life. They are not so much about what you want and why you want it and how you go about getting it, but it's more about understanding the spiritual lessons that you are here to learn and making sure that you find yourself in the right environments and meeting the right people that will help you to grow in the direction that your soul most desires to grow. And so eclipses intimately involve the nodes, and they represent this sense of fated events that can take place at this time, but ultimately are a part of aligning you with a higher, more loving vision for your life. So the first eclipse that happens this month is happening right around the 12th of the month, give or take a day or two on either side, depending on where you are on the planet. Having said that, this is going to be very powerful indeed. There's powerful symbolism playing out, but ultimately very fortunate symbolism playing out for a lot of us. I do think so. And that is because this eclipse is going to be activating a supremely harmonious configuration that is called a grand trine. It is going to be speaking in supreme harmony with Neptune and with Jupiter. We've also got Pluto standing across the sky, and that Pluto is going to add power. It's going to add that element of change, powerful change at that. And there's another layer to this, which is that Jupiter is going to be standing still in the sky, changing directions right around the time of this eclipse. Now, whenever a planet changes directions, that is when we want to watch, because that's when its powers are that much more magnified. Now, as I spoke about in the Jupiter special for your sign, you might want to watch that again at this time, because I do think those Jupiterian themes are going to be very much a part of what transpires now. So that in part has to do with love, and I'll talk about that a little bit later in this video. But for now, bringing it back just to this eclipse, it is taking place in a part of the sky for you that has to do with people like your siblings, your cousins, and your neighbors. So these people may be part of facilitating greater opportunity for you. It could be at this time that they have an amazing surprise for you, whether it's happening in their life. In some way, it does benefit you as well. The other element to this is if new neighbors come into your life, or if there are new people who come into your life by way of siblings and cousins, then they could be somebody that you have a powerful karmic connection with as well. Now, a karmic connection, what is that? Well, ultimately, it has to do with meeting people who in some way remind you, as part of the mystery, they awaken within you an understanding of your lessons that you are meant to learn over the course of this lifetime. Now, sometimes that can happen in ways that feel easy and fun and smooth and light, and have a sense of not necessarily needing to work hard for that lesson. However, sometimes those lessons can come about in ways that feel a little bit more intense. And if I'm going to wager, I'm going to say, as much as there's so much good associated with this eclipse, we've also got energy that is very intense because of that Pluto. And so, however it is that those emotions come up, if you can trust that they're moving you in a direction that ultimately is going to be part of a larger positive transformation in your life, you'll be able to embrace every experience that much more. Now, the other part of this is it has to do with learning and perceptions and communications, whether online and social media, text messages as well, or whether it's, attending a workshop or a book signing and things like that. These are all covered under this part of the sky. And I would say this would be an amazing time to attend any kind of networking event, or again, book signings, or taking a short class, a weekend workshop, as the case may be. This would be a great time to do that. Even if the process isn't necessarily the most easy, breezy, smooth, right? You've still got you working with this energy to open up that karmic window that ultimately will be a part of creating positive change in so many areas of your life, not only now, but for a long time to come. As we move further into the month, we are going to have another eclipse take place. This is a powerful one indeed. It is happening hand in hand with Mars and speaking with Uranus as well. Now, if you remember from the Mars retrograde season video, from the video I did, I think it was back in May, and I spoke about Mars retrograde season for you. Well, this is a month where Mars is going to be retrograde the whole time. And with Mars so close to this eclipse, it does tell me that there's a lot changing, and there's a deeper perception opening up to you as well. And there's a sense of being awakened at this time, and maybe a desire to change that feels just downright urgent and necessary. Now, it's Uranus adding that urgency, but of course with Mars retrograde, you're being asked to just reflect a little bit. I don't know how well you're going to be able to do that, because of course this eclipse is happening at the very top of your sky. This is a very important part of the chart. It is very consequential. In its higher sense, it has to do with life purpose and the legacy you create. In a more practical sense, it has to do with your career, your social standing, and your relationship with people in positions of authority. Now, keep that in mind. This can be a time when a boss leaves rather suddenly, possibly very dramatically. That's one way this energy can play out. This can also be a time where just in very quick succession, you get an opportunity to in some way raise your social standing. Now, if that's the case, of course, trust your life and trust the moment that you're in. But keep in mind that this is ultimately a lunar eclipse, and you do want to watch. It's going to be hard to not be very impulsive. We hear things about people who, went online and posted something on social media, or they were caught on camera doing something and it ended up leading to a change in their career status. Well, that's the kind of thing that can happen here. So really, ultimately, I'm not saying that will happen, but it does suggest that if you can, be mindful of that as you're moving through your life, that this energy can play out in ways that are very quick. Now, of course, as I said, this could very much be about you. With Mars retrograde in this part of the sky, you are right now getting to the truth of what is worth giving your energy to, and what is it that you really want to do. And so with that inner searching may now come an epiphany of sorts that you feel you must follow, that you must trust, and leads you to create change in your life, particularly your career life or your life purpose life at that. A sense, an urgency to live your legacy more fully may show up at this time as well, lending itself to powerful karmic closures. It's like, okay, it has served its purpose, a particular environment, a particular boss, a particular career path has done what it needed to do, and now you are ready to grow in new directions. Now, where it comes to matters of love, I did mention love already. There are a few things happening that I think are very powerful for love. Of course, Jupiter going direct right at the eclipse is very powerful for love indeed. You may have a conversation, a very casual conversation that leads to greater love and romantic love at that, if you are open to meeting someone new. Now, keep in mind also, right around this eclipse, Venus will move into a part of the sky for you that has to do with flirtation and romance. And so it looks like you'll be getting your flirt on, you'll be enjoying your life. And so that can be really nice. These energies can work really well together for you in terms of meeting new people. Remember, the thing with Venus moving into this a fun part of your sky is to have fun, to do the things that are genuinely fun for you, and that will be part of moving you towards the romantic love that you desire. With Jupiter involved in this eclipse, a connection can happen very quickly, very synchronistically, and there's real hope for this being something that could last long term as well. This can also give you a real sense of a fresh chapter and a fresh look as to what is happening for you in love. And the sense of freshness really comes from perception, from understanding, from mind, and from conversation. This can be a powerful time for those of you in an established bond. With the way the sky is playing out, it does look like this sense of a romantic connection with your partner is about to be reawakened, but at the same time, there's a sense of real understanding, like mind-level understanding that can happen now. It may be that the two of you are making some agreement together as well, or that you just have this talk very spontaneously, very synchronistically, that feels like it solidifies your place with each other. Do keep in mind, with Venus moving into a new part of your sky the last 3 weeks or so of the month, well, keep in mind that that can give you a little bit of a boost to fertility as well. Now, if that's something you want, wonderful, you can use this energy that much more. But if you're not really thinking along those lines, keep that in mind as well. And there's lots of other ways that you can use this energy. What I love about this month for you is really the karmicness of it all. That sense of understanding that is going to find you, really almost like a mind level awakening, and feeling very much in alignment with your environment can happen at this time. And ultimately, that is part of the point, and that is part of what is going to change your direction going forward. And it is your direction that is highlighted, especially at that second eclipse. How high do you want to go, and really what's worth achieving? Your answers may surprise you, and they may have dramatically changed when you weren't looking, but thankfully, when the awareness comes, you're ready to honor it. Well, thank you so much for watching. You can get a video like this each and every week by logging on to astrofabulous.com or nadiyashah.com. Sign up to be one of my superstars. Superstars get expanded, exclusive video scopes every week, special horoscopes, early access to monthly horoscopes, so much more. All of this in the superstar space. I look forward to meeting you there. It'll be a great month. Enjoy.